Hey, what's happening? This is Jerry over at Wealth Dynamics. Hope you're having a good morning today. And I wanted to come to you with a really quick video just to address the question of, saving in the sacred account if you have an inconsistent income, or just if maybe your income isn't inconsistent, you just don't know if you can commit to a monthly amount like that. So I talked to a lot of people, and that really is one of their main concerns. They realize it's a forced savings plan. They realize that the sacred account is something that they can't just quit. Every month they've got to put money into it, which is kind of the point, right? The purpose of the sacred account is it forces you to save money, because if you're not forced to save money, statistically, you probably aren't going to. But the concern comes up when you're like, all right, well, if I'm putting in, $1,000 a month or $1,500 a month or $2,000 a month into this account, what happens if my income drops? What happens if my expenses go up? What happens if for some reason one month, I can't commit to that amount? So I want to address that. So contrary to popular belief, the sacred account, as a high early cash value mutual whole life insurance policy is actually very flexible. And so a lot of people are used to traditional whole life policies where, your broker signs you up for however much per month and you're stuck with that amount. And there's really not a whole lot of money in your cash value, and it's more to generate commissions for them, and you might get some money someday, but it's really not a sacred account. And so with the sacred account, if you commit to, let's just use the number 1,500. So if you commit to, all right, I'm going to save $1,500 per month. You should try your very hardest to not lower that number. Okay, if you could put in 18 grand into your sacred account, think about what that would mean for you. I'm not talking about a retirement plan. I'm talking about your sacred account, like money you could pull out tomorrow if you wanted to, and use it to loan against your policy and go do a deal with it. Okay, most people, they'll do the 401k, but they're not used to the idea of, hey, I can actually access this money immediately right now. So think about that first. Now, secondarily, like I said, stick to the number as much as you can. Secondarily, if you need to miss a month, most of our sacred accounts do have a grace period. So if you're like, hey, this month I can't make it, next month I can though, you would just skip a month and then double up your payment next month to catch up. That's the best way to do it, because you're not actually losing or reducing the amount of money you're going to save. See, it's not about like how much money, you're putting into your sacred account on a monthly basis. It's about accumulation. It's the fact that you need money to go invest, and that money has to go somewhere, and the faster you can accumulate that money, the sooner you can invest. And I would also argue that the better quality investments you're going to make, those that make investments with small money don't care as much, because they're like, oh, it was only 20 grand. But think about if you did 200 grand, you'd be more picky. So you want to make sure that you don't just drop the payment altogether if you can help it, because that's going to slow down your accumulation. But you can skip a month. All right. Number 2, if you need to borrow against your cash value to make one of your payments, you can also do that. See, it's flexible. So at the end of the month, like if you're like, hey, I committed to 1,500, maybe this month something happened, I've only got 500, borrow your next month premium out of your cash value and just pay yourself back later. Like, the world is not going to blow up if you do that. Just make sure that obviously you don't, like I said, slack and not pay it back, because that rhymed, because it's about accumulation. So if you stop putting money in, it's not going to grow as fast. So yeah, you can borrow against the cash value, but ultimately you still do want to circle back around and pay yourself back. It would be no different than owning a gas station and getting free gas just because you're the owner. Yeah, that's a cool benefit, but technically you're stealing from your business, and it's not a smart financial decision. So same thing with the cash value. Now, third, I can work this with you because of the way that I'm set up as an independent broker. If you need to be flexible on payments, I can set us up with a policy that allows for flexibility. So if you said, hey, I'm going to put in, $1,000 a month, but on any given month, I might need to lower that, I can design your sacred account to where you can drop your contribution down to 1/10 of what you've committed to on any given month and never have to pay it back. Never have to catch it up. It's just lowering your contribution. So if you're like, hey, I'm putting in $1,000 a month, and then July rolls around and you're like, man, we had the family reunion, we spent all this money on plane tickets, I need to pay off my credit card, I'm not going to be able to make the full 1,000 this month, you let my office know. We'll help you drop your contribution that month down to $100, and then you just bump it back up when you're ready. So that's how the sacred account works. It is very flexible, and again, it's all about designing the account properly. Okay, so if you're just working with you know, a life insurance agent that works in his office who's, you know, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, listening to everything his manager says. His job is not to design a sacred account for you. His job is to drive what's called base premium into his agency so that he can get paid, his manager can get paid, and they can all hit their company quota. They're not concerned about you having access to your money, having flexibility, or being able to use the money for real estate investing. They're concerned about hitting their sales target, basically. So guys, if you're watching this and you've been considering the sacred account and the thing that's been holding you back was the monthly commitment or the annual commitment, however you want to pay it, and you're like, man, now that this is more flexible, I'm interested, I'm going to make you a real quick offer. Okay, so today is my birthday, if you didn't know that. I'm 27 now, whoopee. And so I posted a link in the comments. It's called sacredaccount.com. And so if you're watching today and you go to the link and you apply for a sacred account with us, we will waive our setup fee today. For my birthday, that's my gift to you. We'll still do the exact same great job we would do for you as if we were charging the setup fee, but we're gonna waive it for you today. So if you sign up today, there is absolutely no setup fee. That's my birthday present to you guys. I really appreciate your help, your likes, your follows, your shares. Make sure that you do like, share, and subscribe. Again, go to sacredaccount.com, sacredaccount.com. One more time, that's sacredaccount.com. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.